What can I do for you?
You addressed Rod Smith yesterday, or any other players facing suspensions or any type of disciplinary action?
No.
Thank you.
Urban, how's JT look? How did he look today? Did he go?
Good. Yeah, he went. I wouldn't say quite full, but he'll be full tomorrow. They're telling us. So he did. He did good. Real good.
Urban, last year when Braxton got hurt, we were told it was a sprained MCL, and now we're hearing you're saying sprained MCL for JT.
Yeah, it's very similar to what he had.
But Braxton missed 2 games with it. How is JT able to be ready?
Yeah, I'm not a doctor. Probably not as severe.
Okay,
I guess.
But it is watching him move around or anything. Is it reminiscent of all of you? I mean, you went through that with Braxton, and he wasn't able to play for a
I've
couple
gone down
games.
through with many players.
Yeah.
MCL is not an uncommon injury.
Right.
It's a non-surgical. It's the medial collateral ligament that. Once again, the severity, I just do what they say. You know, halftime they said he got an MCL sprain, and I said, how bad? And they said, well, we'll see how he goes. And I think a lot of it's everybody's built different, I guess. But that's, once again, I'm not a doctor.
Urban, you said yesterday on a Big Ten call that you didn't know much about the college football playoff selection rankings and all that stuff. Have you had an opportunity to look at it all?
I did, just real briefly. I just looked where the bucket. I just looked down, saw where we were at. That's it.
Look down.
Yeah.
What'd you think about that?
I don't.
Does it
Gotta
mean
play-
anything?
gotta play good.
Earlier you talked to the team about rankings, and not rankings, but necessarily, but what could be ahead for them. I would think this would be a topic that you might address this week too.
Yeah, we did. Not so much a playoff, just, what's our the ultimate objective is to be competing for championships in November. And you look on the calendar, that's really close to now. So we had a little extra motivation for Wednesday practice in late October. So I just talk about those kind of things.
It's a long way to go, but still there's 15 teams ahead too.
I don't, it's a lot of football left.
You've got a million things going on. You're trying to win games and develop players. But when you see someone like Dan Mullen that you know so well, the top of college football, just what are your feelings seeing what he's able to do with that team this year?
Well, I see Kyle Whittingham. I see Coach Strong. I see Dan. I see Gary Anderson. I have a lot of friends out there that we work together. And Dan Mullen in particular, though, I'm just really fired up for him. He's a very good coach that took over a program. I remember when we just won the SEC championship game, and he asked if he could go interview at Mississippi State. I said, Dan, you're from New Hampshire. And he looked at me and I said, do what you got to do. And, I've known him forever. He was a GA for me at Notre Dame back in whenever that was. So, but I'm real proud. He's a heck of a coach and couldn't happen to a better guy.
Do you consider, along with developing players, do you consider developing assistants to be head coaches?
Lou Holtz told me that. He, when I was hired there, and he did a great job. He would actually, help guys and help me when it started getting close to time. And he says, one of your obligations is to make sure you do things the right way and teach your coaches to, to when it's time to move on. And I think I take great pride in the fact those guys are doing real well.
Where did you see JT? What did you talk with JT about? Maybe improving this week. It kind of went awry last week with him in particular.
Proper reads and throwing with authority. He didn't play great yesterday. He played with a lot of heart, but didn't play with a lot of, smarts or something. But that happens, and you don't want to take credit away from the team we play because they played really well. But he's just got to play smarter. He made a few freshman mistakes which didn't show up for the previous 3 or 4 weeks.
Whenever a team has a big game 2 weeks ahead, there's also how do you avoid the letdown? What have you done in your career to make sure that doesn't happen, and what have you seen this week?
Well, it depends who you're playing. That's a great question. If they're a really, really bad team or, on videotape they're awful, then you got to be creative, and I've done that where we didn't even show film. You just kind of chew them out or something like that and coach them real hard. But the good thing, not the good thing, but this returner put it to us last year. The issue is not talent at Illinois. So they have guys that can play, and you can see that on videotape. So we hadn't had to do much this week.
With Rod out, who moves up and protecting the order a little bit?
At tailback, Briante's not quite ready yet, so Warren Ball moves up. Obviously, Curtis Samuel's 2. He was 2 anyways, and then you move up Warren Ball and then hope to get Briante back. And you got some other guys who can run the ball. Jalen Marshall, we were kind of using him on some things, and obviously Dontre Wilson.
What did you say? I didn't hear all of it about Mullen. Did you tell him not to go there?
No, don't put that out there. No, I said he said I got a phone call from Mississippi State. They want to interview me. This is after 2008, after the SEC championship in Atlanta. I said, Dan, you're from New Hampshire. And I just stared at him, and he said, I just want to go take a look at it. I said, all right. Then he called me, and he said, we had an 8-hour, 7-hour interview. He goes, I think I got the job. I go, really? So really proud of him, though. Thanks.
Thanks, Coach.